Hey guys, welcome back to Geeks 40k channel. Today we have another challenge the Geeks. It is the channel's good friend, Mr. Bale, and his Emperor's Children. Today we are doing Legendary Mission Cataclysm, which is actually from Horus Heresy Book 2, Massacre. So, deployment zones are out. We have a nice V facing down at each other. There's one on that side of the board, one on this side of the board. Basically, troops are the only scoring units in this battle. We have got to get into the opponent's table half. And every time from turn 2 onwards that we have troop choice in the table half, we get a victory point. If your troop squad is destroyed, it can be replaced by another squad exactly the same coming on from reserve. So we have rolling troops, which I think sounds quite cool. So this is a Warhammer 40,000 battle. We're going to do it as 40k and not do it as 30k. But saying that, I'm sure Bale will be using all the laws and all the rules and all the fluff from 30k with his Emperor's Children, which he's nodding at, so I'm guessing that's a yes. So let's go and have a look at the armies.
HQ for the Space Wolves today, I'm running a standard Warlord. I'm going to be using Gromsmin to represent him. He comes with the Armour of Rust, so that's a 2-up armour save and a 4-up invuln. I also have the Fang Sword of the Ice Warrior. I will do a miniature at some point to represent this guy. Troops, we have a 9-man Grey Hunter squad. In there we have a plasma gun. They're in a Rhino. Next troops choice, we have a 10-man Grey Hunter squad. Power Fist, plasma gun in there. Again, riding around in a Rhino. Elites, we have Terminators. We have 3 with Wolf Claws, 2 with Thunder Hammers and Storm Shields. They will be arriving from reserve in the Stormwolf Flyer. Next 2 Elites, we have 2 Dreadnoughts. 1 with a Hellfrost Cannon and a Power Fist. The next one we have the Blizzard Shield and the Big Axe. He will be arriving from reserve in the drop pod. Fast attack, 3 Thunderwolf Cavalry guys, all fitted with Storm Shields, one of them with a Thunder Hammer. So these guys will be tearing up the field, trying to get into the Emperor's Children, trying to push them back. Finally, heavy support. We have got Long Fangs, 2 las cannons, a missile launcher, a heavy bolter, and a plasma gun, and then obviously the Vindicator. So that is my 1,850 point Space Wolf list. It's taking on the Emperor's Children today. If you watch the last 2 battle reports, one against the Blood Angels and the Challenge the Geeks against Carl's Tau, this is the same list that's been in them 2 battles, but it has been victorious in the last 2. So let's see if we can make it 3. HQ for the Emperor's Children today, we have Lord Commander Eidolon. Lovely miniature, absolutely love that. That is really nice. Troops, we have 1 set of Emperor's Children. We have another squad. And then we finally have a 3rd squad of troops with his sergeant in there. Looking quite menacing at the front with his sword and his bolter. We also have a Spartan tank. Not quite sure how I'm going to deal with that, but I'm sure I will come up with some kind of cunning plan. We also have 1 speeder. We also have a 2nd speeder. We have a Mortis Pattern Contemptor Dreadnought. Now, this guy doesn't actually have the missile launchers on top of his head, so we'll be ignoring them. And finally, heavy support, we have the Cacophony Squad. We also have Legion Champion. So that is 1,850 points of Emperor's Children that are going against the Wolves today.
Bale has gone for the proper little flying wedge here on his side of the board. He has one of his tactical squads down here. These all have Volkite calibers. On this side of the board, he has his Mortis Contemptor Dreadnought looking down the street. He has his Spartan placed right in the middle. That is going to be his rolling roadblock, his rolling cover that is going to more than likely move these guys forward behind. Over here we have the Cacophony. early noise marines that we know in 40k, these guys. So they are getting very excited about loud noises. We'll see how good these guys actually are. And then we have one speeder. So the Legion, what is he? Legion? Legion Champion and Lord Commander Illidan and 15 Tactical Marines inside that Spartan. So that is going to be target 1 for the Space Wolves, I think. Talking to Space Wolves, down this end of the board, I haven't gone for a flying wedge. I have left a big gap in the middle of the board. Bale deployed first, and I'm staring down at that. So, this side of the board, we have the Long Fangs ready to shuffle up, hunker down behind some of the cover, hopefully taking that Spartan out. Behind them, we have the Venerable Dreadnought with the Hellfrost Cannon. Again, hopefully coming up, bit of covering fire. Behind them, a Rhino with the 10-man tactical squad in, ready in its engine, ready to race up the board into their half to get a victory point. Down here, we have a Vindicator. Same principle, rolling up, get some cover. Followed by the Thunderwolf Cavalry and the 9-man squad with my Warlord in, that Rhino there. So a couple of options could go that way. If we take out the Spartan, maybe go up the middle. Everything else is in reserves. So, who will be victorious? Will it be the might of the Space Wolves? Looking after the Emperor's Light, will they be victorious? Or will it be Fulgrim's corrupt and turned sons? Let's find out. I actually managed to seize the initiative, so that'll probably be the only 6 I roll all game. So, in the movement phase, the Space Wolf, Thunderwolf Cavalry have moved up and around. Not much on this side of the board. Looks like might have a free passage on the way up into the back lines, but we'll see. The Rhinos also moved up. The Vindicator, the Long Fangs and the Dreadnought have done exactly what I said they were going to do, which was basically hunker down behind the cover, trying to take out that Spartan. The Rhino has also moved up 6 inches and will probably come this way round, I'm thinking. My drop pod is in. It did scatter, however, it has pretty much landed right in front of the Spartan tank. The Dreadnought has gone out and moved 6 inches. So he's kind of hunkering down behind the corner of that building at the moment. So we'll see if we can take the Spartan out in the first turn. And then the Dreadnought might either go this way around the building into these guys with the Volkite, or come around here, take out the Spartan. We'll have to wait and see. So let's head over to shooting. Basically, the only things really in range of the Spartan tank were the Long Fangs. So the 2 last cannon guys opened up at it, causing 1 hit and 1 glance. Now, this thing does have flare shields. So in the front arc, you are -1 to the strength of your weapon, unless you're a blast, and then you're -2. Vindicator. So last cannon's only strength 8, so I managed to get a glancing hit on it. So it's down to 4. He'll probably be dead by turn 5 at this rate, which is what me and Bale have just been talking about. Split fire from the Long Fangs. Opened up with the missile launcher at the Cacophony squad down here. Managed to save them. The Storm Bolters from the drop pod opened up at the same squad. Managed to save them. So yeah, first round of shooting. The only thing I've managed to do is 1 hull point off the Spartan. The Speeder has moved up. The Cacophony squad have also managed to get inside of the building, so they're getting some really nice firing positions down onto the Space Wolves down there. I'll have to see what these guys actually do. Kind of thinking they're like Noise Marines, but not Noise Marines because they're 30k. The first tactical squad has moved up, heading up towards the board half. The Spartan, the Contemptor Dreadnought and the Volkite squad down here have moved round the building, looking down at my Dreadnought. So the idea of this Dreadnought is to at least give them a turn or 2 of something in their lines to tie them all up. And there's 1, 2, 3, 4 things tied up now with that Dreadnought. So if it can survive, that'll do me quite nicely into turn 2, and hopefully my reserves will come on and everything will come up the board a bit more. the Spartan did a split fire move using power of the machine spirit. So the las cannon on this side opened up at the Vindicator, hitting it, taking off a hull point. However, the Spartan on this side opened up at my Dreadnought. So did the Contemptor Dreadnought over here. Basically, that did absolutely nothing. Pinged all the shots off the armour. But this las cannon here off the Spartan hit it. Bale rolled a 6, which then I obviously got him to re-roll. And then he rolled another 6. So that is gone. So that wasn't tying him up. In this mission, there is no first blood. So that is not a victory point. These guys down here have ran. The Volkite guys. So they've ran, taken up position. They're going to have the Thunderwolf cavalry coming down towards them. So those guys are going to get some action quite shortly. These guys in the middle are not in range of anything. The Cacophony guys opened up at the Long Fangs, causing 6 wounds. I managed to save all 6 of them. However, one of their weapons did get hot, so Bale has lost one. One has blown up in a... I want to use the word orgasm of sound, but that's probably not the right word for it. No, it probably is, actually. Yeah, it probably is. Stupid noise marines. And the speeder opened up with the last cannons at the Vindicator. However, I managed to save that as it's hunkered down behind some cover. The tactical squad did go into combat with the drop pod, but failed to do any damage on it. So at least they're getting some cover now from the Dreadnought, the Vindicator, and the Longfang squad. So these guys are hunkered down behind my own drop pod. I think they might get a Stormbolter in the face shortly. The Rhino went for a turbo boost, immobilised itself on the stones and the Rectaquilla. So the guys are actually hunkered down inside of there now. Probably yelling at the guy driving. Thunderwolf cavalry have moved up. Probably going to be out of charge range of everything this turn, but they're in cover. They have their 3 up invuln saves, so there is a good chance these guys will survive. My reserves, my flyer did not come on this turn, which is a little bit frustrating. I really could do with that flyer on shortly. Hope it's not turn 4 before it turns up. The Vindicator, the Longfangs have stayed still. The Hellfrost Cannon Dreadnought has moved up. Probably more than likely going to shoot at the squad behind my drop pod, which means I can't fire a blast at it because it's my own vehicle. So I'll have to be on focus mode. The Rhino has also turbo boosted on this side of the board because we need to start thinking about victory points and getting into their table half. The Vindicator opened up on the Spartan tank and actually scattered straight onto the heads of the guys that were here, killing 3 and almost destroyed my own drop pod, but only took a whole point off. The crack missile from the Longfangs opened up as well, killing another 1. They have failed their morale check. They have ran back 7 inches. They are heading back towards the end of the board. However, if they do go off the board, if they do get killed, they just come straight back on as a full squad from the board edge. So that's always quite nice. The Hellfrost Cannon from the Dreadnought did absolutely nothing. It missed. However, the last cannons from the Longfang squad opened up at the Spartan, taking off another hull point. Only 3 left to go on that thing. So can we pop it at any point before the end of the battle? Not quite sure on that, but we'll give it a go. So it's going to be over to the Emperor's Children now for their turn 2. Let's see what Fulgrim's children have got in store. The Spartan tank has moved up. Eidolon, the Legion Champion, and the squad of Tactical Marines have jumped out of the Spartan tank, looking down at the Thunderwolf Cavalry. Also, the Volkite guys have moved out of the building. They've moved up, and so has the Contemptor Dreadnought. Something gives me the impression that Bale does not overly like my Thunderwolf Cavalry. I can't think what gives me that impression that he wants them dead. Yeah, that guy. Over here, these guys failed their morale check again, so they have actually ran back another 8 inches, something like that. So Bale kind of wants these to go off the board now because, like I said, they will come straight back on in full squad strength. But they're miles away from halfway in the board and miles away from getting a victory point. It's a little bit awkward, that one. This squad have stayed still. Over here, Bale's reserve has come on, which is this flyer here, which has outflank. So it's come on this board edge. So we have the two flyers together now, staring down at my Rhino. So there's going to be what we can only be described as a hailstorm of bullets over there, and some last kind of shots onto this Rhino here. Yeah, that might die. Yeah, the North Cavalry guys might die. Okay, let's go see if I can actually survive any of this. The speeder that came on opened up at the Rhino, blowing it up. Killing 2, and these guys are pinned, so there's 8 left over here. But they can shoot. I do have a plasma gun in there, so maybe. This one opened up at the Dreadnought. Didn't do anything, so I'm sure the pilot and the is kind of slapping the gun around the back of the head at the moment because it's not doing anything. These guys, the Cacophony squad, opened up at the Long Fangs. Also opened up at the Long Fangs was the las cannons off the Spartan tank, killing 3. There's 2 left, but they have passed their morale. So I am left with a missile launcher and my heavy bolter squad down there. Yeah, they've now I've lost them 2 las cannon guys. That's a lot of strength out of that squad gone. The Spartan tank with on the other side opened up at the remaining Rhino down here, taking it down to 1 hull point. So my guys have got to get out of that now and do some walking. Down here, the Volkite squad and the Contemptor Dreadnought ran, but the tactical squad that are in my table half, so they are scoring a victory point, opened up at the Long Fangs and with their bolt pistols and got like 8-9 wounds, something like that. So the 2 front guys have gone, just leaving me with my Thunderhammer guy. But with that, they have opened up the charge range of them. So, will they make it into combat? Once again, my reserves have not come on. So, turn 4, they're going to make an appearance. Hopefully, bolstering my lines, but we'll have to wait and see. Down here, the Grey Hunter squad with the leader in, my Warlord, has jumped out of the Rhino. They're going to be opening up on this squad here with their bolters. Thunderwolf Cavalry guy has moved up. He's going after that Volkite squad. He's not happy with them guys. They haven't even opened fire at him, but for some unknown reason, they've annoyed him. Down in the middle of the board, the Vindicator has finally left the comfort of the cover, and the Hellfrost Dreadnought has moved up because the Hellfrost cannon now has a nice line of fire and a nice big clump of men to open up at. The Vindicator, Contemptor Dreadnought, maybe if it's in range, would be a bit of... He is just in range. Well, he's just in line of sight. I have my 2 Long Fangs left, and obviously these guys down here are pinned. So plan of action is these guys open up at the speeder. These guys, I haven't got a clue. Vindicator at the Contemptor. Hellfrost Cannon at Lord Commander and his squad. Same target for these guys. Thunderwolf Cavalry into combat over there. So let's see if I can pull this off. Space Wolf shooting, turn 3. The plasma gun was the only one that can actually damage the speeder. Opened up, hitting this. This is down a hull point and is now immobilised. So that's a little bit good, apart from it's immobilised and it's still looking down at my squad. Yeah, with last cannons and a multi-melter, so maybe assault next turn, maybe. Down here, the Long Fangs, the missile launch guy opened up at the Contemptor Dreadnought, removing one of the weapons, and also taking it down a hull point. The Heavy Bolter opened up at the Cacophony squad, up in the building at the top there. So did the Heavy Bolters from the drop pod. They killed 1 each, really, so we are down another 2 in there. The Vindicator shell opened up and clipping the corner of the Spartan. It was just in range. Hitting the Spartan, taking him down another hull points. It's down to 2. And the Contemptor Dreadnought it didn't touch. Hellfrost Cannon opened up as it was going to at this squad down here. I think it killed 2? 3? So there's 3 guys gone from there. This squad also opened up at them, killing none, I think. Yeah, I think you saved them all, didn't you, Bal? So it's going to be over to assault. The Thunderwolf Cavalry guy is going to go into the Volkite squad, trying to smash them. And then it's going to be over to the Emperor's Children. And then, finally, my Terminators are going to make an appearance. This might be why I'm modelling up a Space Wolf Land Raider right now, so they don't have to arrive for reserve anymore. Thunderwall Cavalry guy made it into combat, survived the fire from Overwatch, ran in, did take a wound, but he managed to kill 3 in the process. So, however, Bale on his leadership check managed to roll snake eyes, so they hold. So that's an ongoing assault. Are these guys going to join them? Are they going to go over there where my Warlord is? We do have Slay the Warlord in play, so it could be a bit of a showdown going on. I'll have to wait and see what Bale decides to do over there. Finally, will this squad run off the board and come back on? Let's go head over to the Emperor's Children and find out. The remaining speeder has moved up to the centre of the board, staring down at the Vindicator and the Dreadnought. Spartan has also moved round as well, so that's obviously what they're going to be targeting. Down here, the Contemptor Dreadnought's moved round the side of the building, so with his 1 remaining arm, he's going to try and shoot through the building at that Dreadnought. Bit of a Dreadnought versus Dreadnought going on here. But there's a lot of scenery in the way there. Might be pinging off them. Down here, Lord Commander Illidan and the squad have moved up, staring down at the Grey Hunters that are on the ruined Aquila. It's kind of quite cool, that is. I like the fact that you got the Emperor's guys standing on top of the Aquila. You've got Horus's guys moving up towards them. It's like light versus dark going on there. Very poetic. And down here, these guys are obviously stuck in combat. Finally, probably much to Bale's annoyance, these guys have actually rallied, so he's moved them up. Well, he's actually moved them up to 3 and then ran them. So these guys are here, and then the Cacophony guys inside the building have stayed still. The speeder opened up on the Grey Hunters down here, killing another 2 off. So, yeah, assault maybe? I don't know, that's looking quite tasty down there. Down here, the other speeder opened up on the Vindicator, blowing it sky high. The explosion killed off one of the other long fangs down there, the heavy bolter guy, so he's now dead. My Dreadnought is down a hull point. The Spartan opened up, removing the power claw from it. The Contemptor did open up with his 1 remaining gun arm. Unfortunately, well, fortunately for me, he didn't do anything. The Cacophony squad, right the way down the back of the board in the building, opened up at the 1 remaining long fang. Managed to do 2 wounds, which are saved. However, one of them got hot and killed off another one of these guys. So there are 4 dead in total, and Bale has managed to kill 2 of them. So yay him. Down here, I think the big decision is he's decided not to open fire with his squad onto the Grey Hunters for fear of increasing the charge range, because he is going into cover. So he would have increased the charge range on it. So let's see if they can make it, or see if they can survive the Overwatch shots. Down here, the Lord Commander Illidan, the Legion Champion, and the remaining Tactical Marines ran into the Warlord and the squad of troops, killing them off. Illidan issued a challenge. I accepted. Thunderhammer that hits at normal initiative is always fun. Killing my Warlord. So that's Slay the Warlord for Bale. It's the only secondary objective in play. So he now has that. So they've moved up close to my board edge. However, because he did kill off the troop squad completely, because he charged them down, they will make an appearance at the start of my turn. Down here, Thunderwall Cavalry guy was taken out by the Volkite squad. I think, as we've said, these guys were inspired from what they saw down here and the absolute slaughter and the screams of pain that the Grey Hunters were yelling out. These guys were not going to stand around idly and just let the one squad take some pleasure. So they ripped open the Thunderwolf Cavalry guy and his wolf. So at the moment, it's looking very, very bad for the Space Wolves. I've got my Dreadnought left that doesn't have a Power Fist. I have my 1 Long Fang left. I have a squad that are hunkered down around that building around the far side. However, I do have a squad of troops about to come back on. I do have my flyer to come on that has Terminators inside. So, are they going to be a game changer? Is this going to be a turn where the Space Wolves can push the Emperor's Children back? Reserves are on. My flyer is coming. The squad of troops have reappeared from the back of the board through the doorway in that building. All of them staring down at this squad here. They're going to push these guys back as much as they can, trying to get them off. There is a Slay the Warlord there as well, so that's always helpful. The Dreadnought has also come round with a Hellfrost cannon, trying to land that on there as well. So currently this squad's got las cannons, bolters, heavy bolters, 2 Hellfrost cannons staring down at them. So there's a lot of firepower. Yeah, that's going to be good. Down here, this squad have come out of pinning and have moved up, and they're going to shoot the speeder. And if they can't kill it in shooting, they will go into assault, and then hopefully move their way up into the board half, gain a victory point, and we've also got the Cacophony squad sitting in there. So currently it's 3-0 to the Emperor's Children, but with the reserves that have come on, this could all change. Space Wolf shooting, turn 4. Basically everything round here opened fire at this squad here, killing off 5, 6, 5, including the Legion Champion as well. So they are really now depleted in numbers. The crack missile opened up at the speeder, completely missed it. That was helpful. Down here, this squad are going to go into combat with that. I've decided not to shoot that and go into assault with it. So that way, I'm closer to the halfway board edge. So tables are turning a little bit. I am pushing them back now. Assault down here kind of went according to plan. Destroyed the flyer, so these guys are now free to move their way up the board, up to the halfway point, which is basically there where they're breaking the line is, and that'll be a victory point. So, like I said, we are starting to push these guys back now. There's a lot of firepower down in that one bottom corner. So let's head over to Emperor's Children turn 4 and see if they can retaliate. The Flyer and the Spartan have moved up. So the Flyer's got a nice rear shot on the Venerable Dreadnought. The Spartan probably going to pick on the one remaining Longfang, which is a little bit harsh. Down here, Illidan and his remaining covering squad have moved back. The other squad have moved up, and so has the Contemptor Dreadnought. So again, nice little circle of people to drop Hellfrost templates on, because the Terminators will be making an appearance in my turn. That will get into hover mode. It will be assaulting out of that. So interesting down here. Round here, these guys have ran up, heading towards halfway, trying to secure another victory point. Over this side of the board, Baz had a bit of a shuffle round and brought the 3 guys on the bottom floor round from around the front, so that they can basically pick on these Grey Hunters down here. Will they be able to survive the shots that are going to be incoming and secure me a victory point? The Cacophony squad inside that building opened up at the Grey Hunters all the way down here, killing off the lead guys. So they are 1 down, but they passed the morale, so they are almost at victory point range. Down here, the Speeder opened up at the Venerable Dreadnought, killing that, basically took it out of all points. Here, the Spartan opened up with the one side of the last cannon at the one remaining Longfang, but he survived. The cover saved him, so that's always good. The other last cannons on the other side opened up at the Stormwolf Flyer, hitting it, penetrating it, and taking off the Hellfrost cannon. Little bit annoying that the Hellfrost cannon has gone, because that is a good weapon. So I'm now both Hellfrost cannons out of action because the Dreadnought gone and it gone off the Flyer. Yeah, that's irritating. But it still has heavy bolters in its last cannons and the Terminators inside. So, I'm not sure there's going to be any assault. The Emperor's Children and Illidan went into the Rhino, taking it out and blowing it up. So, he's removed the cover in between himself and the Terminators. So they now have a free run in once that Flyer goes into hover mode. Was it a wise choice? Let's go find out. My Flyer has entered hover mode and the Terminators have jumped out. These guys are here. They are howling mad. They want these gone out of their part of the board. This battlefield needs to be cleaned up for these Emperor's Children. These traitors to the Emperor need to be gone. can the Terminators be the ones to do it and wipe some justice down on these traitorous scum that is the Emperor's Children? Well, we'll find out. So they're going to get some covering fire from the flyer. This squad's also moved up 6 inches. I'm not sure whether to shoot them before going to assault. Possibly not. I'm thinking that the plasma gun guy could take out the flyer. But then we do have a crack missile at it as well. And then the only other squad to move, really, this turn is my Grey Hunter squad down here. So they've shuffled up. They're now into the Emperor's Children border. So I score my first victory point. Yay me. So they turn 5. But that's 3-1. So one there. Slay the Warlord down here, maybe. So bring it up to 3-2. The Grey Hunters opened up at the squad, causing 3 wins. And Bao managed to save them all. Really annoying. The plasma gun guy pressed the trigger, heard his gun wind up, and it blew up in his face, killing him outright. So that's the plasma gun guy gone from that squad. Down here, the missile launcher hits, taking off a hull point. Down here, the plasma gun opened up at the same target, the flyer. Again, it got hot, but I managed to save that one. So it's been a turn of things getting hot and blowing up in Space Wolf's faces. The the Storm Wolf flyer even opened up on Illidan and his squad, killing off 2. So it's going to be over to the Terminators and into assault. Can I get rid of these squads and take Slay the Warlord this turn? That could have gone slightly better down here. So initially I issued a challenge, which Bad accepted, but he accepted with his sergeant, who I failed to kill. I actually failed to wound him completely, so that was pretty rubbish. Down here, Illidan, he took about 5 wounds and managed to save them all with his 2-up save, and I lost 2 Terminators in the process. So it's 2 guys on Illidan and 1 guy on the sergeant down there. So out of range for turn 6, there was out of range for victory points down there. So it's over to Bale's turn 5. Let's see if we can mop these Terminators up, secure victory for the Emperor's Children. So basically on this side of the board, the Tactical Squad, the Volkite Squad and the Contemptor Dreadnought have all moved up, trying to protect Illidan and the one remaining Sergeant in combat with the Terminators. They see these Terminators as a real threat, and they're all ganging up, ready to go in. A lot more attacks coming in on these Terminators now. Will they be able to survive that? I'm not sure. Down here, the Spartan has stayed still, just rotated, and the Speeder has come round, ready to shoot the Stormwolf flyer, which is in hover mode. So yeah, that will hopefully survive. They will hopefully survive and maybe get a turn 6. I just really have to slay the Warlord at the moment. Longfang is still alive. He's on his own, but he is staring down the last cannons from the Spartan. The Cacophony Marines opened up on the Grey Hunters down here, doing absolutely nothing to my Grey Hunter squad. However, another one got hot. He screamed in pleasure as the noise of his gun blowing up in his own face killed him. They are kind of weird. Down here, the Spartan opened up on the Longfang, killing him off finally. He survived all this time on his own, but he has just taken the last cannon shell to the face, so he's definitely dead. The Javelin Speeder opened up at the flyer, blowing it up. It was in hover mode. Failed my jinx, so that annoyingly that's gone as well. So it's now over to assault. Let's see if we can make a heroic last stand down here with the Terminators. Down in this complete and utter mess of melee down here, I managed to lose a Terminator. However, with the heroic intervention, is it called, Bao? He stepped into, one of his sergeants or characters stepped into the challenge to save his sergeant. I was smashed in the face with my Thunderhammer because I was quite angry at the fact that I couldn't actually kill the guy that I wanted to kill off. But it's drawn combat, so I actually won that one. But annoyingly, Bao passed his morale, so it is drawn combat. So, do we get a turn 6? 1 dice then, Bao. No, we don't. That is it. Game. So that's it then, guys. That's the end of the battle. The Emperor's Children are victorious on this outing for them. They've managed to push the Space Wolves back and have won 4-1 on victory points. My Grey Hunters down here scoring my only victory point of the game. The Cacophony Marines were just too much of an opposition. I'd have had to run through them if we'd have had a turn 6, and I don't think I'd have made it. Down here in the combat, I honestly don't think we'd have survived another turn of that. All the hits coming in. So, hope you enjoyed that one, guys. It's nice to have another 30k army on the channel in Bale's Emperor's Children. Leave us a comment. Be good to hear your guys' feedback. And as always, we'll see you soon.